Teach them. Always make sure the message reach them.
Live from Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting around the world. You're watching the Teach Them YouTube show. Intellectual, yet stimulating. Fair, frank, and factual. And now,
broadcasting
live.
We will broadcast
live. This is Extra Class, streaming to the world and beyond.
Hey, let's go.
You know, it's Teach Them, the #1 intellectual blogging panel on the YouTube channel.
Good night, everyone. Let me know if you're seeing me clearly. Let me know if you're hearing me clearly. If you're seeing and hearing me clearly, welcome to another episode of Extra Class, episode number 374. I just thought everybody who is in the hearing of my voice and seeing my face, hold on. Woo! Another episode of Extra Class, episode number 374. I just thought everybody who is in the hearing of my voice and seeing my face, hold on. Woo! Another episode of Extra Class, episode number 374. I just thought everybody who is in the hearing of my voice and seeing my face, hold on. Woo! Another episode of Extra Class, episode number 300. Something is wrong. Oh, I know my problem. I mean, I fool. All right. Yeah. But you want to look back in my ears, but I had the problem. Peeps, big up on yourself for the people that are there. You know the thing go. Blessed Sunday, start of another week. You understand? New possibilities, new horizons, new dreams and goals and all sort of things to pursue. But you know the thing go. Big up yourself, Father Donovan, Sean, Carl, Glenton, Dre, Sheena. Hey Sheena, how are you? It's good to see you, Empress. You understand? All the people that are check in. So you don't want to stream Friday night because you know champs at from on a Friday night. So I figure some people then go on a champs or some people I watch champs. So you have to gauge the street and know where I go on and feel the beat. You understand what I say? So some things one. I think I want to start with let me get these things out of the way. Then I talk about the audio and visuals not in sync. I think I sync Dre say. Everything good now? Like everything alright? Everything should be alright, I don't know. What if there's an issue? So let me know, family. I think yesterday it was late Friday evening into Friday night, news broke that an 18-year-old who went missing in Hanover her decomposing body was found behind the house near her home. Her name is, I think it's pronounced T.C. Hall of Hanover. 2 men have been taken into custody. No information as to whether or not they're going to be charged or what was the motive behind the kidnapping supposedly and cause of death, because that has not been decided as yet based on the state of decomposition in which her body was found. So she leaves behind a 3-year-old daughter, I think. So I don't know, then there's that. You understand? Things it away. MS, good night. John Snow, blessings and family. Yeah, dear, there. You understand? And Gary Brown, blessings, my friend. You understand? Yeah, so them look at things there. Before we share the stream for my son on some part. I'm gonna post it somewhere. I forgot. I think I'm supposed to go in live on Facebook and Twitter as a speaker as well. You know what I think go. Can't find it. Just a moment to... Yeah, I'm finding my other phone. Yeah, peeps. So as I say, when I normally have some things I want to share our views, man. You understand? Again, my views. My views and your views may not align. My opinion and your opinion will not always be the same. You may see something differently than I do. So, means that yours wrong and mine right, or mine right and yours is wrong. It's just how we view things and how we interpret stuff. You understand? Also, we saw a few weeks ago where a man was arrested and charged for allegedly killing his 14-year-old son somewhere in St. Anne, if memory serves me correctly. Seen another situation where sometime last night into this morning, a father and their daughter was allegedly in a dispute. Well, was in a dispute, and the man allegedly stabbed her. She died. He's now on the run. Father allegedly kills daughter at Kingston home. Whoa! Police are in search of a father who is believed to have killed his daughter during a dispute at their home in Kingston on Sunday morning. The deceased has been identified as 17-year-old Shadiki, not sure the pronunciation, Shadiku, based on the spelling, Calvert of Barry Street in the parish. Now, reports are that about 1:10 a.m. a dispute developed between the father and daughter when a knife was used to inflict a wound to Shadike's chest. She was taken to hospital where she died while receiving treatment. No. More and more cases of children killing parents, parents killing children are popping up over the place. As I spoke about it on Friday night last week, that our ability or inability at conflict resolution is shocking. Yes, and well, we said that, sometimes people who are normally not violent can have one lapse in judgment and somebody else lose their life. Yeah, so I don't know the gentleman, I don't know the young lady. I'm just saying in general, you understand? Our ability to de-escalate and to resolve conflicts is at an all-time low, and it is being reflected not only in our homes but on the streets, in the schools, in Parliament. Boy. Miss Millicent, good night. How are you? Bachelor, how you did, family? You see me? So, 14-year-old boy allegedly killed by his father. 17-year-old girl allegedly killed by her father within the space of a month. It's crazy. It is crazy. You understand? What was the nature of that dispute that it got so bad that the father resorted to, first and foremost, reaching for a knife, and was so heated that he used said knife to stab his 17-year-old daughter? I don't know. What was the daughter doing for him to be so incensed and so enraged? It's crazy. It's a child, 17 years. You have been raising that child, Eh? And that dispute between father and daughter has led to the death of the daughter. Never heard that one before. I can't remember an instance where I've heard of or covered a story where a father killed his daughter. I can't recall. It's the first time I'm hearing that. I've heard about stories where sons kill them parents. Yeah, son. But I don't know. The lack of love has been manifesting everywhere and in every social group, as he stated, even in Parliament and the Senate. I said that way. Boy, Father Jackson, I wish I could have tell you, bro. I can tell you, say it's going crazy, brother. Is in it is just, as I say, there's very little love among us anymore, There's very little compassion. You understand? Everybody head just at so. Everybody want blood. Everybody bloodthirsty. Yeah, man, I don't know, bro. I tell you the truth because Jaja, where's the mother? And well, as in, when I question if she was in the life of the child, I'm just saying, where is she now and what is she going through? If you get to me, I say, the father, wherever he is, because the police are searching for him, wherever he is now, I assure you that he is regretful. You understand? I am well, as Mr. I don't know the situation, but I am thinking as a father in a situation like that. I know. Mariette, what go on, bro? It's been a minute, you know. All is well? Yes, sir. So 17-year-old girl is dead. Her father is on the run. We saw earlier last week where 2 men were shot. One killed taxi driver at a gas station at the intersection of, I think, Mullines and Walton Park Road. Brace and brawling. It's crazy. Yeah? Sometime today, 6 shot, 2 fatal in Mocho, Clarendon. Teach. No, I think I migrated though. No, but even if I migrate, then equipment can move with me, you know. It's a number of things, bro. Some things, you know, I don't really wish to get into publicly, but, you know, all the way have battles where we fight, and it has to do with exhaustion a lot of the time. It has to do with the schedule a lot of the time. Just needed to reset, you know, and take a break, decompress, reassess, analyze. You understand? Now I try to find back the vibe, the groove. You see me? So, but me there, man. No change of the teacher, sir. Me see man. Good night, Miss Lorraine. How are you? Anjo, what go on, fam? All is well, sir? I see some people, I say for a minute. What the ones them good enough, give thanks. You understand? So, you know, in Mocho, Clarendon, you understand? Growing up, the only thing I used to hear about Mocho, say, if far, you don't want to live in Mocho. That was the only reference I had of Mocho when I was growing up. Yeah? 2 men were shot dead and 4 others injured during an attack at the Darlow district in Mocho, Clarendon on Saturday night. So the dead men have been identified as 37-year-old Irvin Wright, otherwise called Joe, and Jason Lewin, 24 years old. Both men are construction workers from Darlow district. The 4 injured men have since been admitted to hospital, with one being in critical condition. I am not sure what their condition is at this point in time. I haven't seen any further updates as it relates to their conditions. The 6 men were at a shop having drinks when a white Toyota Probox motor car drove up, and 2 men armed with handguns exited the vehicle. One of the men entered a shop and the other stood outside. Shortly after, they opened gunfire at the victims. So the police were alerted, and on their arrival, the lifeless body of Wright and Lewin were seen lying face down along the roadway with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to their backs, heads, and upper bodies. The other victims were rushed to hospital for treatment, and the police reportedly found 15 9mm spent casings while processing the scene. No motive has been established for the attack. No one is safe in there, brother. You understand? No one is safe. That is it. Church, people have been murdered in church, worshiping in recent times. Yeah? Children have died in schools in recent times. Yeah? Even crossway from police station, man, I get it these days. You see me? No way not safe. No way at all not safe. Like, it's crazy. You can't go sit down with your brethren and say, have a drink or roll a vibe anymore, anyway, because it thing just set away. Empress, listen, thanks so much. You know, I always appreciate this continued support and the contributions. Blessings every time. You see me? Ball game, man, I play ball game get shoot up, man, dead. You understand? When I was growing up, Man and man we have things on the ball field, and if man go fist that out, man fist that out, and every man a bridging again tomorrow or next day or next week. You understand me? I say that's all used to go on when me a play ball growing up. You see me? I say now a shootout on ball field. I don't know. Set away. Gary Constructions, blessings family, give thanks, man. You see? Violence and aggression is so ingrained and entrenched in our personalities these days, where it's scary, in our real life. You understand? Yes, Father Dre, that is true, I can't deny that. Many men have lost their lives at bars, whether drinking or playing dominoes, in recent years. So there's a trend read that for true, but can't deny that the data is there to validate that. So it's man, search this up, man, can't find it. No, okay. Yeah. Weddings. Say, me not even remember recently a wedding was shut up. A young lady died. Others were injured. Or two died? 3 died? I don't remember. But me know, so I remember the female. Because I didn't even cover the story. But then, see, me not even try to commit them things to memory no more. Because set away. So before me talk about some other things, so the past week was the week of boys and girls champs, the biggest high school track and field meet anywhere in the world. And KC won their 34th title and defended their title as well. I think they have won for what now? 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row. I think 2 or 3, I don't remember. I think there was a JC victory in between somewhere, if memory serves me correctly, because I get old too, but KC went in as favourites. Many of the experts predicted that JC would have been their closest challengers. Going in, JC suffered some mishaps and some misfortunes, some disqualifications, some button dropping in relay, some athletes suffering injuries and all sort of stuff. I mean, KC would have suffered misfortunes too, but JC's mishaps hampered their challenge, so that kind of petered out, and KC basically win champs on Friday night. You understand? So there was no excitement there. Calabar is rebuilding, I suppose, so that Calabar KC rivalry was kind of non-existent. And the truth is, whilst JC's program is growing, champs, you get a different vibration at champs and for champs when Calabar and KC is going at it tooth and nail. When champs is close and it's a Calabar KC showdown, fight, toss up, it's a different vibration. The energy is just different. The rivalry is just different. You understand? I mean, it is like, so even though you have had the emergence of Chelsea, Man City, and Arsenal at various times in the history of the Premier League, a United-Liverpool clash is just different. It's just the truth. If United and Liverpool are chasing a trophy, it is just different from when anybody else. That's just a vibration. And I don't support none of those two teams, as in Liverpool or Man United. So yeah. You never get that. You never get the excitement there. On the boys' side this year, the KC squad was just too deep and too well-rounded. So yeah. On the girls' side though, and I predicted this a few years back, but at the time that I did, I gave them 3 years to win champs. It didn't happen in the 3 years. Idle, that is. But finally, they have managed to break Edwin Allen's dominance of champs. And they have won their first title. Congratulations to the Ideal team, the Ideal squad, Mr. Corey Bennett. He has been doing a wonderful job out there for a long time. He's also the head coach of the Calabar team, so he's balancing that. So yeah, but that I don't really want to talk about it. What I really want to talk about champs and athletics in general in the country. Bawaji and Krumi, class 1 100 meter champion 9.99, absolutely smashing. But the truth is that Bawaji has had that in his locker for a while. You understand? He has been threatening to break the junior record. Well, not the junior record, the champs record. And because I think, what is that fellow name again? Zarnell Hughes was the record holder. It is good that the record is now back in Jamaica, and a Jamaican schoolboy is the holder of said record. And I know some people, and through KC kind of have athletes from all African countries. People kind of hear Bawaji and Krumi, and people probably now follow up track and field very closely, and were wondering if he's Jamaican. Yes, he's Jamaican. He's from St. Elizabeth. He attended Black River Primary School and stuff, so he has been running in primary champs from them time. I remember seeing him running barefoot once. I think that picture is somewhere going around the place whilst he was representing Black River Primary at primary champs. So yeah, he's Jamaican. But as smashing as Bawaji's performance was, I think the performance of the meet was Alana Reid's 10.92 seconds in the class 1 female 100 meet. That is special. Like, and I know we have a tendency to put more attention on men as sprinters and females. But what Alana Reid did was nothing short of special. You understand? That was his standout performance for me. High school girls don't run 10.92. It not happen. You understand? It not happen. So that was amazing. She'll be going off to university in Oregon. Some people don't like when Jamaican athletes go overseas. Some people say them better stay at them yard. But opportunities present themselves to families, to the families of these kids, and they make the best decision for themselves. Brianna Liston is at LSU. Brianna there? I'm not sure. I know that Kevona Davis at LSU. As a matter of fact, they broke the collegiate 4x1 record yesterday with Kevona and Anka. It's good to see her looking healthy and looking happy. Haven't seen Kevona smile in since she left champs. You understand? So I hope that she will continue to get her thing together and go back to what we know her to be and her potential. So well done, Alana. Special. I hope that she will remain healthy. And it will be interesting to see if she got national senior trials this year. No. I know that Bawaji suggested that he will be going to national senior trial. Zane, he could have run, because when I was predicting his time, I was predicting 9.95. You understand? Him looking around may have shaved off a few milliseconds off his time. Him say it don't really matter to him. The goal was to run sub 10. He runs sub 10. More is there. I'm also hearing that he may be going to racers. I don't know, but we'll see. All right, so this is what I want to talk about with champs. On Wednesday or Thursday, I think, Scotty did a talk, and she said to me, bro, she was talking about him Krumi. And she said, she hoped that him can transition into the senior ranks and bring his junior dominance to the senior level. So we started talking about, she asked me why many of the youths them now transition. And that conversation came up. And, thinking about it then, I kind of say some things. And it's not something I think about for the first. But whilst we have this affinity and love for track and field in Jamaica, we're not very serious about it. And let me explain to you why I say that. Zane, Jamaica's success in track and field is in sprinting, that is rival only by the United States. You understand? The joy and excitement that boys and girls champs has brought this country for years upon years is second to none. You understand? But I don't know. I think we are very complacent in the fact that, we have a conveyor belt and we'll just keep turning out these athletes. Very possible. However, based on the level of success that we have had at the junior level and at the senior level, I don't think enough is being done for the sustenance and continued dominance of Jamaica in track and field. And let me explain to you. First and foremost, when you look at tracks in the country, we have the National Stadium, we have Stadium East, Kingston. We have the Usain Bolt facility, I think that is up at UA 3. We have, I think Calabar has a track, I think JC has a track now, and I think KC has a track. That is 6 tracks, based on my knowledge, in the corporate area. You understand what I say? Remember, we have 14 parishes, and those 6 tracks span over Kingston and St. Andrew, 6 of them. There's a track at GC Foster that are 7. And there's one at Catherine Hall, I think, that is 8. So as far as I know, and you can correct me if I'm right, we have 8 tracks in the country. 6 of them being in Kingston and St. Andrew. Yeah? Yeah, follow me? At this stage, based on the successes that we have had in track and field, each parish in this country should have a running track, a international level track, mini stadium type of vibe with a track. You understand? And all these parish meets and these championship at the local level, the students are exposed as early as possible to the technology and the equipment, using starting blocks, being exposed to hurdles early and all of them something. I don't think enough is being done to treat with that. That is one. Secondly, so when we're talking about why enough of the athletes have not transitioned, it's multifactorial. One, some of the athletes them just do it for represent them school. Many of them don't see a future in track and field. That a one. So some of them only do it because of them school and them are represent them school. So some athletes, student athletes, are not interested in tracks beyond that. So that's a one. So we lose some that way. Zane. Secondly, many of the athletes, especially the schools that are chasing champs, are so overworked and overused and overtrained that by the time they finish, so even though they excel in champs, by the time they finish with champs, them body can't recover from that enough for transition, for have a successful career. There's no track in the Trelawney Stadium that was designed as a cricket complex, so there's no running track there. Perhaps they should build one there. They should add one there. And the land space is there for that. So I don't know, yeah? So many of them in pursuit of championships are overworked. You understand? Athletes doing 4x4, 100, 200, 400, 4x1, 4x4. That is too much for our kids. That is just the reality of it. Zane, so whilst in pursuit of champs, many of our athletes are damaged early because we're trying to win champs. So that's a 2. Secondly, many of our athletes are used and discarded in the pursuit of champs as well. So athletes are given the opportunity to repeat grades and repeat this and repeat that, whilst a lot of attention is not being placed on the academics. And after champs done, and it's the same thing happened for Manning Cup and Dakasta Cup. I've seen it with my own eyes. Like, I've seen it. They are discarded and them just frustrated and nobody with nothing at all. Because champs done, so everything done, nobody not busy with nobody again, and them something else. So we are not really and truly being there for our youth as we should in that regards. So that are 2 things where we lose some of them. Thirdly, some of these children are from families where academics trumps sports any day of the week. So some of them are made to, are encouraged, and probably in some cases coerced and forced to focus on the academics. So them are go college and academics them are treated because a degree the thing there. You understand? So we lose some that way. Next, many of the youths that don't have the financial support after leaving high school to continue training. They don't have the nutritional base. They don't have the money for that. They don't have the money to see the specialists, the physiotherapists when they have a little niggler there. So that support is not there to help them to transition from the junior ranks to the senior ranks. Yeah? Because it's not everybody can go as swept or elite or MVP or racers. I don't know how the intake of these track clubs go, but obviously not everybody can go there. Yeah, so let me say. Also, some of the youths them peak during high school in terms of their athletics capabilities. And I want you to look at MVP, for example. A lot of the athletes that Stephen Francis and his brother has turned into world champions and Olympic champions did not excel in champs. You understand what I say? And that is Stephen's preference. He preferred to take somebody who did not excel at champs and use them beat people excel at champs. He has said that before. Zine, so many times some of our athletes who was blazing up champs, physically, technically, they can't go any further. So we lose some of them in that regards. See, so it's a number of reasons why the youth them not transition. Also, when some of them get scholarship and go on the US collegiate circuit, the amount of work they have to do to fulfill their scholarship situation is crazy. So just like how some of them are burnt out for champs, some of them are burnt out on the collegiate circuit in the United States as well. Zane, also to move from your high school coach to a coach in college, Zane, to a coach after college, sometimes it is difficult for these athletes to adapt and adjust in time to really make a mark on the international scene. So it's a number of things why them not transition. But back to now, why we not take track and field serious. I don't think we take it as serious as we should, and we're not doing enough for really and truly not just maintain but extend our dominance. Cali, Colombia last year, where the juniors would have gotten the largest medal haul in any championship at the junior level before. Those athletes should be taken, placed in a program where their nutrition is taken care of, them have access to the medical facilities and experts in the track and field area there where if them have any issues that can be treated with. And all of these athletes should have been provision should have been made for the ones who want to pursue track and field to be placed in one of these track clubs locally or internationally, and provisions made to help them sustain themselves until them can make enough money to take care of them program. We make a lot of money in this country from sports, or we should be making more. So I don't think enough is being done to help our youngsters after champs, after them leave class 1, to really and truly go to the next level. Because it is not easy. People think that because you dominate champs means that, automatically you're going to become a world beater. Usain Bolt struggled for years between champs and becoming the greatest sprinter in the world. Many people gave up on Usain. You understand what I say? Many people gave up on Usain between champs until him start with the Usain Bolt that we have come to know. You see me? So there's a lot of things. Many of the youths, them young, them still try to find them way in this world, psychologically, emotionally, financially. They are physically, we need to put programs in place where our young athletes, the ones who are showing the desire to become professional athletes, who have the skill set, we should be putting in programs in place, Zane, to treat with helping them to transition. We're losing too many. We're not going to get all of them to transition, but we are lose too many. Corporate Jamaica, them are part of the next problem. Because many of them only come on board when a man become world champion or Olympic champion. And you see them run up and down back of some people. I mean, I not easy because the youth them need to make their money when them can't demand them thing. See, but many of these companies, what they should be doing. So you're looking at champs now. DeAndre Daly that came second behind Bawaji and Kumi in the 100. He is supremely talented. That young man was in a car accident earlier in the year. He has been recovering from injuries and he ran the fastest he has run in his life in that final. 10, I don't remember how much in my head, you know. Zine, so Nkrumah will take the spotlight and many companies will want to bring him in under their umbrella. But then there's a DeAndre Daly. You understand what I say? These are the things that we need to be looking at. We see the athletes with potential, Zane, corporate Jamaica, instead of waiting until these athletes has gone through the struggle and make it now and jump on the bandwagon. Other athlete, man. You understand? Ensure say they are able to get the nutrition that them need, the gym time that them need. You understand? The coaching that they need, the medical treatment that they need. And you are there from the beginning. You help this athlete instead of a try benefit now when the athlete would have put in all of the work and them something there. You see me? Many of the youths are champs. The schools that they are representing, them don't have a starting block at the level of what is a champs. You understand? Try to get some of these things in the schools. Yeah, so if we are serious about maintaining but we're very complacent because we have been doing it for years. So we just expect, say, many other countries are catching up. Many other countries are investing millions and billions of dollars in trying to develop their track and field program. You understand what I say? So it's not just Jamaica and the United States. Just like it in champs. When I was growing up, there was the school. Then, Jago was always there about. Then Omud. Then it was Edwin Allen. See, look like it want to be idle now. And other schools have won it before. There's always been the Calabar, KC, JC, out there. And you have had Wolmers were kind of win champs already. And Jago in the past and thing. But look at what is happening at Herbert Morrison now. Magati High was very busy at champs this year. St. Catherine High was very busy at champs. Immaculate was excellent at champs this year. So you have schools now that are investing in their program where I say, okay, St. Elizabeth Technical, they have been doing exceptionally. There was a year when every sprint, class in the boy section, class 3 to class 1, all those sprints, those 100 meters were won by St. Elizabeth Technical athlete because I don't remember, he's head of Elite Track Club now, coaching Shelley and some other people. I don't remember what his name is. Zine, he has been doing sterling work done by Stets. Petersfield High has been producing some great sprinters and middle distance runners. Spalding High, which is now Alphonsus Davis. I don't know who come up with the idea for name the school Alphonsus is. I'm not sure what Mr. Alphonsus Davis did, but said them couldn't name one road after him. Them should have never changed Spalding. Which high school? Me go to Alphonsus Davis High School. Me not know about that. Big up Mr. Alphonsus and his family, but say it just not have a yeah, right. So different schools now are investing significantly in their programs to challenge in the future a KC, a Calabar, a JC. You understand what I say? So other countries, Zane, are spending a lot of money in trying to get their athletes to compete with us. You understand? We, just like when West Indies used to dominate cricket in the 80s, we were very complacent. You understand? Until the likes of Australia, who would have spent time and money and expend a lot of resources in developing their cricketers, they dominated Test cricket for years. You understand me? I say because we were very we keep on producing Garfield Sobers and Vivian Richards and Lawrence Shrew and Mikey Holden and Curtly Ambrose and Courtney Walsh and Brian Lara. So we feel like that was going to last forever. No. There came the Steve Wars and the Shane Warnes and the Glenn McGrath and the works. The Indians, Tendulkar, up to Virat Kohli this day. They had their Rahul Dravids and their VVS Laxman and the whole works. Nobody now sit down and I say, oh, them are dominate, so we're not going to try to dominate too. Yeah, son. So, I don't know. We need to understand what we have. And that is us as Jamaicans. I don't think we always understand what we have at our disposal. Zine, and we take things for granted. Jamaica have, many surface streams and rivers and springs are in this country, but yet still, as little rain no fall for a couple months, we are dig well for look water. When 365 days water flow go in the sea on a regular basis, we have not done enough to develop catchment areas and build more dams and reservoirs for when we have dry times. We always have water. Land of food and water. Where you can't get none in your pipe. And billions of liters of water run into the sea around this country. And we're not serious about enough things about it. These are the things we're talking about. The simple things. We have the Hermitage Dam, or Mona Dam and Hermitage Dam, and Mona Reservoir. I think I said them two places there for the corporate area. You understand? The corporate area has been exploding in terms of growth over the decades. Population has been exploding. What have we done to keep pace with the growing population and consequently the growing demand for water in the country? Nothing. But as we don't have no VVS Laxman teacher, you remember these cricketers. At them man, them grow up, I see when me a boy I grew up, man. And I was young watching those gentlemen. You understand what I say? So that's why we know some of them man there. You know what I mean? Zine, we see people at Portland demonstrate because they know Portland, the parish in the country that gets the highest rainfall every year because of the Blue Mountain and the whole relief rainfall situation. We're not getting into that right now. Portland people now no water. Where rainfall every hour of the day, every day at some part in Portland. They no got no water. Oh, we reach there, sir. Yeah, man, I mean, also we have to take some responsibility as people and help with the catchment too and conservation of water. Because some of we take it for granted too, When we go into the shower, if we go into the shower, it turn on until we come out. You understand what I mean? So when we brush your teeth, the pipe, we need to play our part. So me now come and just say government. Then kill listen and get me right now. But so we need to play our part too. But then they are the ones who are elected to be the thinkers, to have the vision, to have the insight, to be looking down the road. Why we not have the more catchment? So is this the latest joke now? You hear say catchment, one new dam I got build round so, or one next reservoir I got build round so, and this I got that and that I got do and this I got do. We're not serious about it. It's just like, watch out. Now NWC is a government agency, National Water Commission. NWA, National Works Agency. Government agencies, There are so many roads that are built in this that are repaired in this country, where in the repair process, remember, NWC, NWA, two government agency, there is no collaboration, and I'm speaking based on observation. It would appear that there's no collaboration between the NWC and NWA. As the road them done build, NWC cut one line in a middle or along one side, one trench. A brand new road, Where was NWC during the rehabilitation of this roadway? Where was NWA to consult with NWC and say, all right, here we go on. We're doing rehabilitation of this stretch of road, is there a need for the NWC to do any changing out of pipes? Make we work together. As the road done, NWC go dig it up. And then when them dig up the road is not being patched back properly. So by the time you know it, the whole of the middle of the road dig out or the side of the road dig out because Water Commission can dig up a road where NWA just fix. It's like we're not sensible about it. You know what I mean? I understand. And you have men and women who are being paid millions of dollars to do these basic things, and taxpayers' money just a waste. Taxpayers' money just a good on the drains of family. Like me, as a road do, here comes NWC. Me promise you, if a road do tonight, NWC will come dig it up by tomorrow morning. I never see nothing like this. These are government entities. Where's the collaboration? Where's the consultation? Where's the partnership? Everybody just do their own thing. Where is the united vision and mission? I don't understand. And these things have been happening from the beginning of time, from independence come right up. Some know some people are quick to say, yeah, the PNP or the JLP, the two of them don't make no sense. These things have been happening under both administration as long as we have had administrations. Me not understand. Yo, joke thing. You understand what I say? And then when you have some people who try to say these things, so we are troublemaker, you know. Zine? And if JLP in a power now and we custom and so we are PNP. And if PNP in a power and we custom and so we are labor right. Because people are still fooled about it. That's why we have people, a politician instead of the foolishness, because we have fools that defend them. Same way. I don't understand it. But probably I'm a fool still. You understand? Because patching don't make no sense. Jamaica Porn Service, it's like the man them just take some and just throw it, but joke something, brother. Joke something. Joke thing. No collaboration. No, I don't understand it. Yeah. So, as me I say now, back to where me I come from, because I have this tendency to behave like them and I like me gone way over so. Good status. It couldn't happen in Washington, D.C. We need to do better at Jamaica. When America is a big old country, we too small for you to see a mistake them over and over, bro. You understand what I say? It don't make no sense. You spend how much hours in a traffic because the road are fixed. Because the road are fixed. You understand? So you have an inconvenience. But as the road don't fix, you are driving a be a pothole because NWC can't dig it up. You can't win. You just be a lose. It's like we can't win both here. Do the simple things right, and then the other things will fall in. The foundation of is steady and strong. If not, the building will collapse. You understand? As Goat Sato say a thing, I've been meaning to do a call-in stream. You know, because the crime situation in Jamaica is untenable. It's crazy. But then now, America is the land of milk and honey, enough people's views, where there have been over 300 and odd mass shootings since the start of the year. Zane, I want to have a conversation as to which part you feel safer, Jamaica or America, because to be honest with you as a teacher, and I've said this before, I will not teach anywhere else outside of Jamaica. I've never hidden that. I have no desire to teach anywhere else. You understand what I say? And I think I would be an excellent teacher anywhere I go. You understand? That is just me as a teacher. But say, if it come down to safety, I think I kind of feel more safe in a Jamaican classroom than in an American classroom. That is just my view. You understand what I say? Right now, if it come down to the money, we're not talking about the money part, we are talking about the safety part. As an educator, I would feel safer in a Jamaican classroom than an American classroom. The land of the free and the home of the slave brave. You understand? So, it's all about context and perspective. 1,200, 1,000. Probably me need to stay out of both classroom, but at Jamaica, America, I talk about 1,000, See, 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,500, 1,600 murders. That is 1,600 murders too many for family. You understand? In the Jamaican context. So when I try if you throw cool water upon the crime situation, it is just too hard for you to cool it down either. I mean, just I say, right now, as a teacher, if me I go make a choice and I relate to safety, I had me thing there. You understand what I say? Me don't know about that something there. Because say, when I one youth and I one teacher have a thing in a Jamaican classroom, it's a one youth and a one teacher most of the times. In America, when I want you to have a thing against the school, I'm have a thing in a brother. I'm not depend that. You understand? I'm not depend that. So that is that. But one of them time, because I know enough people who watch from America, it would be good for hear how many mass shootings have ever occurred in New York City. I don't know, good status to be honest with you. I don't know if any. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 or 3. You understand? I was just looking at the overall thing the other day. And so, me only can speak to that. Me can't speak to... So, you probably the New York, so you probably can give me some info. But at the end of the day, bro, me can't tell you whether they are New York, whether they are Mount Vernon, whether they are New Jersey, whether they are Wisconsin, whether they are Wyoming, whether they are at Nebraska, wherever I there, me prefer go and school out of Spanish Town. Gary Brown said, be careful. What you mean with that now, bro? Talk to me. I don't understand. What you say? I'm willing to listen, but we have to be careful about it now. May I look for? I know myself that one of them time. I'll probably delete it. Right, so I'm going to continue. We need to take track and field more seriously in this country. Zane, I was listening to Dan Webby's interview yesterday. They are lead sponsors. It's about the state and gun rights. Okay, me get what you say still. Yeah, but then go on to the next state them. But as still, not teaching in a classroom in New York neither. He was making the point that sports is a business. You understand? And it's a multi-billion-dollar business. Sports tourism. For example, and this is another point. So the National Stadium was built in 1962. Yes, it was refurbished for the 2002 World Juniors. Yeah? Fine. But the level of refurbishing in 2002 from 1962, at this stage in our life, our national stadium should be competing with the best stadiums globally. I'll say that again. Jamaica's national stadium, based on our success in track and field, should be rivaling track stadiums anywhere around the world. Zane, I'm ask if you build a 50,000 capacity stadium, it can build with the same 28 to 30, 35,000 capacity, but it should be state of the art. You understand what I say? Jamaica should be vying for our world relays to be hosted here. Jamaica should be vying to host the Commonwealth Games. Jamaica should be vying to host the World Junior Championships again. Jamaica should be competing to hold the world relays very regular. We can't do that with the national stadium. Jamaica is one of the most successful nations on the planet in track and field. And we are not host. There should be a Diamond League stop in Jamaica, if not every year, once every 3-4 years. What wrong with that something? Why we can't? What happened? We don't have airport for people coming. We don't have athletes who can't compete with anybody in the world. We don't have athletes around the world who want to come to Jamaica. We are a joke. You understand? So, the whole champs thing, as me I say, I've been doing some thinking and I look on a thing in a more in-depth perspective. And I say, it all started with a question that Scotty asked me. Why is so many athletes them who excel at champs them now transition? And I'm say many different reasons. You understand? many different things. However, separate and apart from that, we are not doing enough to maximize the potential of our brand Jamaica in sports. You see me? Well, we can't keep world relay. Even if FIFA World Cup come to CONCACAF, we should be able to hold. See it there? I tell you. It's crazy, man. We're not serious. We have a lot of talkers here, Zane, and again, the vision, without vision, the people perish. That answer? But me even have something simpler. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. You understand what I'm saying? I heard Dan Webby saying he is planning to have a sit down with Minister Babsy Grange for kind of iron out some of these things, man, because we're not serious. That is basically what Dan Webby has said. You understand what I'm saying? This is a man who is not even so engaged in sports as some other people. The man is a businessman. You can't say him love sports. Grace Kennedy, the sponsorship of Grace Kennedy to champs was $170 million. More you listen to me. The title sponsor for Boys and Girls Champs 2023, Grace Kennedy Limited, spent $170 million in sponsorship. And they are not the only sponsor. You have many other sponsors. So the amount of money that people are willing to invest in track and field without making use of it. You understand? We need for serious. We can do better. We need a modern stadium. That's the first thing. Seeing, we need to have a mini complex. It don't have to be elaborate. Catching all is a good example in every parish where as many youths are exposed to running on a under track surface from as early as possible. The corporate entities will jump on the bandwagon when the man them become world champions and the Empress them become Olympic champions. See the talent from early. Everybody got champs. Everybody watch champs. You see the talent. You understand? Adapt an athlete, man. You know, each corporate entity. See, adapt one athlete, say every 3 years. They not even have to be every year. Because it got stagger then. You understand? Adapt a talented athlete. Or even if them not excel at champs, you see the potential. Because sometimes a youth may not excel at champs, but you know that youth have potential. And if them get the right coaching, if them get the right nutrition, if them get the right medical attention, this youth will become a star. Adapt an athlete. When me have enough money, you understand, when me can do that, I'll be very happy to adapt an athlete. You understand? I might not be able to do it like a Grace or a Digicel, but I am willing to do that because I love the thing. I mean, I have the amount of money there yet. You understand? And I'm still willing to buy a couple of youth some spikes. You understand what I say? And some other little things. I'm willing to buy a couple of schools, 2 starting blocks or 2 hurdlers. At the same money there right now. We are look it. You understand? So when we find it, we're willing to help some of the youths them. Many have, look, we need to do better. We can do better. As a nation, we should be doing better. We need a modern stadium. We need to be attracting some of these high-profile meets. And these meets too will help to encourage some more of the youth to say, Bombard, you know, say, Gold Diamond League, I keep us, you know, say, in that 5 years, I go on in a Diamond League ground here, so we need to start take the thing serious. We don't take track and field as serious as you think. We love it, yes. But are we taking it serious? Are we putting things in place to sustain our current dominant status and extend it? I'm not so sure. One next thing I want to talk about before I leave is the fact where, and it, look, if you have somebody from Trinidad or the Cayman Island or BVI or Turks and Caicos, so you have a parent in Jamaica doing some work, Zine, and they bring their child or children along and they are enrolled in schools in Jamaica. Naturally, them can participate in a chance. I don't have an issue with that. But I am seeing a trend where it would appear to me that there's a deliberate attempt at recruiting athletes from other countries to represent schools who are in pursuit of champs. Me not sure if me like that. I'm going to say it again. I want to hear me out. If children are here with their parents because of work-related stuff or whatever, they're enrolled in high schools in Jamaica, fine, no issue. But it would appear to me that there is a deliberate attempt at recruiting athletes from various countries, especially by the schools who are in pursuit of champs. I am not sure I like that. Again, because some people hear what they want to hear. Zine? So you have a doctor from Trinidad, or a nurse from Guyana, or a teacher from Barbados, Zine, or somebody from one of them countries there who up a UE, or a work down a KPH, and their children are in Jamaica with them, and they're attending school here, fine, represent your school. But the deliberate attempt at some schools to recruit athletes in chase of champs, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I think enough is not being done to fully unearth the talent that we have here in Jamaica, whilst there is deliberate attempt. So distance running is not something that Jamaican children love per se. It's difficult. Zine, so what? Oh, because it is difficult, we're not going to try get them to appreciate distance running because everybody can be sprinter. Oh, no. Let's go to Kenya or get some Kenyans. Let's go run to one place or get some other people. I don't know that I like that. And there has to be a balance. But I'll leave it at that. Because, and no matter which school, I support Calabar in boys' champs. And I support very technical. Yeah, me all a very technical me support when me grow up. You understand? Then nobody can run back a VCB and then girl if I run a them party. See? But, if a Calabar do it, me not like it. If a KC do it, me not like it. If a JC do it, no matter who. Again, if circumstances dictate that because a child's family is here and they're here as well and they're enrolled in school, by all means. See? Good. Me not like it, sir. If you like it, that is fine. We have enough athletes in Jamaica to represent our champs. You understand? This is not professional football we are talking about, brother. We are talking about high school children. You understand? What do you mean, what's the difference? This is not a professional thing. These are high school students representing them schools. So, that is comparing them two things that can't be the same. That's a business, family. Professional football is a business. This high school students we are talking about. I don't know. Again, this is my view. You are okay to have your view. This is my view. The deliberate recruitment of athletes from other countries to participate in champs, I don't like it. Fine, if you want to take a youth from St. Mary High or Gaizelai or Magatir Lacovia, okay, I get that. External recruitment for champs, I don't like that. And let the record show. And comparing it with professional football is a non-starter as far as I am concerned. Can't be the same thing. Cannot be the same thing. And no reasonable ground can it be the same thing. And remember, me tell you, if circumstances dictate that family members are here, parents are here, and the child is attending school here, I have absolutely no issue. But when there's a deliberate attempt of recruitment, especially by those teams chasing champs, I do not like it. Have we expended all efforts in developing certain disciplines in terms of events in this country and we are recruit, I don't like it. I will never like it. There are tens of thousands of children attending school in Jamaica. If we are serious about our track and field, we try to develop the areas of our week, you know. You understand what I say? Instead of, it's a pursuit of crap. I don't appreciate that. So again, we need to be serious. So I'm done with that. Big up to Kingston College. Well done. Very deserving. You understand? They came prepared. They had the squad. They held their nerve. They did the simple things and they won. Idel, amazing work. You understand? Amazing work. Zane, Edwin Allen now I'm sure will be smarting from this and will be coming next year with, as Lico John said, me come back with blood in my eye. There's also a resurgence at Homewood if you're paying attention. This is the best I've seen Homewood looking for quite a few years. You understand? I think Bertland Cameron is now leading the charge at St. Diego. So they have designs as well. So it augurs well for our track and field. Seeing our coaches are some of the best coaches in the world now. You understand? The knowledge is so accessible that we are producing some of the best coaches in the world. I mean, we have the best coaches in the world. Stephen Francis is the greatest coach ever walked on the face of the earth. All props to Glenn Mills. Glenn Mills is a legendary man. But Stephen Francis and Paul Francis, greatest track and field coaches ever. Glenn Mills focuses on the sprints. Stephen and Paul have had athletes winning hurdles, winning long jump, winning high jump, winning all sorts of medals. Crazy. The amount. Stephen have him years, but he's a great, for me, the greatest coach ever lived. Track and field coach. With all due respect to Mr. Glenn Mills, not a problem. But even at the high school level now, when I look at the sprinting form that is being displayed by some of our junior athletes, a boy running in class 3 the farm not supposed to look so good. A girl running in class 4 farm, we are having some of the best coaches in the world, so that part of it is going in the right direction. However, at the administrative level, at the vision level, you understand, at the resource level, at the infrastructure level, we are still not taking it serious. You understand? Brother, that me not even touchy football thing. Right, I know, brother. You understand? Right now I've been depressed from them sack Thomas. My depression, I got through my depression. Lord, me suffer, yeah, sir. As Scargo said, Lord, me suffer. You understand what I say? This is the most depressed I have been. And I've been supporting Chelsea Football Club from 1996. So I don't want a guy feel like yesterday. From me I support Chelsea, someone not ban it. You understand what I say? One next time I tell you why I support Chelsea. But from 1996, this is the most depressed I have been as a Chelsea supporter, brother. You understand? Like, Roman never died for this, sir. So, right now, I'm even low football thing, yeah, sir. Because I say right now, I'm going to depressed again. Yeah. So, as I say, some people will disagree with my view as to the recruitment of external athletes. That is just my view. I don't like it. If the circumstances dictate that the child is here and has to attend school here, that is totally different. I'm fine with that. It's not a problem. You understand? You know, it felt so great to me that Bawaji and Krumi is now the champs record holder again. Seeing that Zarnel Hughes held that record for so long, him not being Jamaican. There's a difference to it. You understand what I say? Nobody can tell me otherwise. It can't feel the same, sir. If you know, say, a Jamaican track and field athlete is the national record holder at the junior level, a champs record holder is now that too. It's different from when a Zarnel Hughes was the record holder. Nobody can tell me otherwise. You understand me? I say, sir, Potter should have been fired from late November, early December, brother. Potter should not have been employed in the first place, bro. As me say, don't nobody depressed. Me not talk about no football. When love me with my depression. Me depressed. You understand me? I say, me depressed. You can't have an elite manager and fire him for a PE teacher, brother. That don't make no sense to me. You understand? And Potter overrated English. You know, English people, them overrated. Everybody is great. Everybody greatest thing, woman. Neville Bell a better coach than Graham Potter. Jeffrey Maxwell a better coach than Graham Potter. Jerome Wyatt a better coach than Graham Potter. You understand me? I say Lenny Hyde a better coach than Graham Potter. You never build that side there and see what go on. Man, on allow me, man. That me I tell you, you know. Me I don't want nobody talking about the football night, you know. You understand me? I say that, yo, yeah, you say, man, on allow me. Sure. Oh, man. Love me. You understand? Topper! I better coach and Graham Potter. Yo, aye, sir. But me talk about some things we affect Jamaica. Don't make me suffer. Me go on. Nah, man. Everything good, man. I just gimmicks, man. Everything good, man. You know a football thing go with the man, them, you know. You understand? Arsenal look like they want to win the title. Me not like that. Me not like that. Me not nothing against the Gunners, to be honest with you. But me not like that. Me I tell you the truth. You understand? Me not like that. United and Arsenal for win no league. You understand? Me not like that. United, Arsenal, Tottenham for win no league. Me not mind Liverpool, Arab City. Them man not for win no league, but yeah. Bush League. Yeah. Close! What you deal with the youth? Big up yourself, you know. Give thanks for no there, man. Art allow retire, bro. You see me? Appreciate the support, man. You see me, I say? Big up yourself, family. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, teacher. Weird walk, I watch it. Yeah. And that go on. Tapa was a decent player as a coach. I don't really. That may show you how Potter. So, Harry Potter. Me could talk about, as me say, you see, me tell you, me not talk about no football, you know, and make me talk about Harry Potter. You understand? But big up to you Gunners them still. You guys have been the most consistent team all season. Playing some wonderful football too. You understand? Arteta is getting the best out of the young youths them. Saying, let's see if them can hold them nerves, because you see, winners win, you know. You understand? Winners win. And winning is a habit. And sometimes when you're used to a thing, when you hold a nerve, you can't hold it. City will be chasing and hunting. So we could say, if Arsenal win, they would be the most deserving team. They have been the most consistent team all season. That is how you win the Premier League, by consistency and with quality as well. So I can't fight them. I would love for them not to win it. You understand? But if them win it, I have to give them dues. You see me I say? And thing. Playing some wonderful stuff, man. I can't take that from. It's a dangerous side. You see me? Full of young warriors. So it augurs well for them future too as well. And things. So I could say. But done with Harry Potter. Listen what I go on now country now. Cause Let me get over my depression, yes, and try shake it out. Me talk to you again September. August, September when the new season start. That season is dead to me. Yeah. Fire alarm. Only listen what I go on. And big up to all of the firefighters, them, you know, because it's a very dangerous job, and I don't think you guys are paid well enough for it. And the resources are not nearly enough. We don't have enough trucks. We don't have. Jamaica Fire Brigade has investigated fewer than 1% of the 44,764 genuine fires reported over the last 5 years. I'll read it again and I'll read it slowly in Ireland the preseason, bro. I saw a great difference when they defeated Chelsea. Yeah, man, the 4 love there, it say a little thing for true. But remember that game there very well. You understand? So watch out now. Click. Where are they? Rosie, where go on? And think Xavier, man, you know. Listen to this, peeps. So, in the last 5 years, let me say I can break this down. In the last 5 years, a total of 44,706. There's a lot of fires that, you know, in 5 years. 44,764 fires were reported to the Jamaica Fire Brigade. There's a lot of fires. For what? We need to reduce the amount of fires both here. That's the first thing. Secondly, of the 44,764 fires reported to the fire brigade, they have managed to investigate less than 1% of the 44,764 fires in 5 years. Mr. Davis, what did I miss? You miss a whole heap of things, you know, the work of me. Big up yourself, you know, bro. But we there, we talk about some foolishness. Father killed daughter, missing girl body found decomposed. And we talk about champs and some whole heap of things about champs. The Jamaica Fire Brigade has investigated fewer than 1% of the, me can't tell you the number of, me not have what me 44,764 of that. Yeah, 44,764 fires in 5 years. The man them investigate less than 1%. And conducted only 10% of follow-up inspections on buildings flagged for non-conformity between 2017 and 2022, an audit has revealed. So, you have buildings where they not match up to the fire regulations, the fire code. When fire brigade go examine them. But, so you examine them, you point out the issues and they should be corrected. So if you go back, go say them corrected, and less than 10% of them buildings, they demand them go back, go look pan after the first inspection. So many buildings not up to code as it relates to fire. Again, and the firemen, again, big up on yourself. I suppose me go hear say resources will be an issue and thing. Why can't we do the simple things properly? That when we talk about NWC and NWA, all right, watch it. Further out of commission fire and emergency vehicles constrain the fire brigade's ability to effectively respond to fires across the country. In a Jamaica land we love, you know. You hear what? Out of commission fire and emergency vehicles constrain the Jamaica Fire Brigade's ability to effectively respond to fires across the country. It's like you call the police station, say somebody are broken in your house, but them tell us that them not a service vehicle, so them can't come now. Thief, name your supper. You call the fire brigade to your house, they're on fire, then the truck broke down, then can't. The agency is also in breach of the Public Bodies Management and Accountability Act and the Fire Brigade Act, which may have resulted in it owing the tax administration Jamaica more than $80 million from statutory deductions not handed over. So as a fireman, money is taken from your salary for statutory deduction, but it is not handed over to TAJ. Which, as of January, remained unresolved. Those findings, among others, are contained in the performance audit report produced by the Auditor General's Department on the management of fire prevention activities within the fire brigade. The 48-page report was tabled in Parliament on Tuesday. The audit was triggered by the findings of a 2014 audit which showed that there was a high incidence of out-of-service emergency vehicles which affected the fire brigade's ability to carry out its firefighting activities, emergency medical care and rescue services. As I say, big up to the firefighters, because I know want to really uno are the main cause of the problem. Yeah, The Jamaica Fire Brigade was also not adequately managing its fire prevention activities to minimize injuries, loss of life, and damage to properties. Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis said the follow-up audit sought to determine the progress made by the Jamaica Fire Brigade in improving its operations and systems of internal controls, as well as whether it had implemented the 2014 recommendations. Monroe Ellis said that the JFB, which is the Jamaica Fire Brigade, has made significant improvements in its operations and partially implemented 3 of the 4 2014 recommendations, but noted that the organization needed to improve its governance practices. 3 out of 4 not so bad still, to be honest. Fear is fear. So on to the next one. The ET. Tamu, where are you with? The audit found that as of February, the fire brigade's non-operational vehicles accounted for 41 vehicles, a 39% of the fleet of 105 fire and emergency vehicles. So of the 105 vehicles at the disposal of the fire brigade, 41 of them, or 39%, are not operating. I don't know. I have to take bad things with joke. The JFB's record showed that the vehicles were out of service largely because of engine and transmission failure, leaking water tanks, mechanical issues, and accidents. Further, vehicles were being serviced between 2 months and 2 years. A train. Like a train, man, never service. 2 years, a truck a service, man. After the required service date. Then I take, okay. So you see, learning make it a full man. Right now, me is not a full man because me not read it. May I jump to conclusion, and that is wrong. So let me read it. I've not read through the article, as you probably realize. And I try not to read through articles when I go showing at the stream because, I want my reaction to be real time. So I'm going to make it a full man of thyself. So let me read. Records show that the vehicles were out of service largely because read it already. Further, vehicles were being serviced between 2 months and 2 years after the required service date. So the vehicle was serviced January 2020, but the vehicle was serviced January 2022. 2 years after the vehicle due for service. Then the engine and transmission is going to mash up. I am not a mechanic and I can tell you that. Yo. Watch ya. The JFB indicated that it was unable to adhere to maintenance schedules for some vehicles because of inadequate funding, the decommissioning of vehicles that frequently broke down, and the removal of some with major mechanical defects from the active fleet to be serviced. However, Roy, big up yourself and give thanks. I appreciate the support, bro. We're there. See? Watch out. However, Monroe Ellis said that it cannot be discounted that prolonged delays in servicing vehicles would exacerbate some mechanical problems that are common sense. Even Empress Pamela know that. Thereby contributing to an increase in the number of out-of-commission vehicles. If the vehicle them due for service them, brother. The audit also found that the fire brigade rate of building certification was affected by a high degree of non-conformity among structures inspected, but noted that the organization's rate of follow-up inspections for non-conformities was relatively low. The report said that for 5 selected parishes, 3,623 or 46% of the 7,873 billing inspections were not certified due to non-conformities identified. Between 2017 and 2022, the fire brigade conducted 36,868 inspections, which covered buildings within the applicable groups. Non-conformities included the absence of an emergency plan, no fire alarm system or smoke detector installed, an inaudible fire alarm system throughout premises, loose electrical wiring, and deficiencies in emergency exits, among other defects. More than half the buildings inspected in Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Ann and Portland did not conform to fire safety standards, which ultimately are going to make the job of the fire brigade harder when fires are in these buildings, because it got harder for people get out, because no provisions never did make for people emergency. It's crazy. Watch it now. Further, the report found that rate of follow-up inspections for non-conformities was approximately 10%. For example, a sample of 500 inspections conducted over the financial year 2017 to 2018 to 2021-2022 where we identified that follow-up inspections were conducted for only 49. So 500 inspections were made, you know. Zine, but and after the 500 inspections were made, so you would have had issues, and only 49 follow-ups were done after 500 inspections over the period. I'm tired. I saw the article how long? Then me can't read all of this. I'm going to try though. I'm a trying, man. Alright. She said the JFB's policy requires that delinquent owners of specified buildings are given a specific time for a correction action, although the length of time was not indicated. Nonetheless, the policy required follow-up based on the nature of the breach of non-conformity. The fire brigade's low rate of follow-up inspections on specified buildings where non-conformities were identified would have undermined enforcement activities while increasing the risk of safety hazards. Monroe Ellis said only 210 of the reported 44,764 fires over the 5-year review period were investigated. Of the 44,764 fires reported in 5 years, only 210 were investigated. Think on these things. Think about that. The organization noted that fires were selected for investigation based on the criteria established in its fire investigation handbook, but the Auditor General said her team's review of the handbook showed no evidence of established criteria. Wow. Nonetheless, she said that the criteria outlined in the Jamaica Fire Brigade's investigation policy, which was developed in May last year, require investigation of fires that cause deaths or serious injury. Structural fires, fires believed to be incendiary in nature, explosions, any unique or complex situation involving a suspicious or consequential fire, wildland or bushfires of premeditated magnitude, among other things. Monroe Ellis said of the 210 investigations conducted, the fire brigade presented 100 reports for review. So 210 investigations were done, but only 100 reports were submitted. So on to the next 110 reports. For the 210 of the 44,700. Oh, I didn't hear my mic. I'm going to say that loud. Sorry. But just I try to process this while I read it too. Because my processor slow down. You know, because I kind of get old. So I wonder if I process it wrong. So for the younger people them in here, we have quicker processor. You understand? M2 Pro Max. You understand? Processor, a run pan. Only make me know. Because as good as me, nah. The audit revealed, well, let me finish this. Monroe Ellis said that of the 210 investigations conducted, the fire brigade presented 100 reports for review, which revealed that the major cause of fires investigated were due to accidents. The audit revealed that The Jamaica Fire Brigade is yet to prepare and submit annual reports and audited financial statements for the period 2019 to 2020 and 2021 to 2022, which is in breach of the Public Bodies Management and Accountability Act and the Fire Brigade Act. The Jamaica Fire Brigade's management attributed the delays to high attrition among key staff. But the Auditor General said that the delay in submission of reports would have limited the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development and the Parliament's oversight of the organization. Yeah, because if they don't know where I go, if they don't have the data to tell them where I go on, all our politicians are politicians, and you know that too. But say, truth is that if as a politician you don't get the data to guide your policy making and your what you call that, budgetary allocation to the fire services, you operate blind because you don't know what's going on. Further, she said that the fire brigade is awaiting a waiver for accumulated interest and penalty in the amount of $80.6 million owed to the Tax Administration of Jamaica for the period 2013 to 2016 in relation to statutory deductions. Where the money there? We identified that all 5 of its bank accounts were not reconciled for periods ranging from 1 month to 29 months. The fire brigades failure to prepare monthly bank reconciliation increased the risk of financial losses, as management may not be able to promptly identify and correct accounting and bank errors or irregularities, including erroneous debits, which could result in losses, said Monroe Ellis. Additionally, the fire brigade's approved budget for the period 2017-2018 and 2021-2022 was consistently lower than the requested budget. So the fire brigade is requesting X, but the government is giving them Y. So that's a problem. Them don't have enough trucks. Them don't have enough personnel. Same thing again. Boy. Manuel Ellis said that despite a trend increase, budget allocations were less than requested. Oh, so the government is increasing the allocation. However, it is not in alignment with what is required by the fire services for optimal or efficient operations. Manuel Ellis said that despite the trend increase, budget allocations were less than requested, as reflected in acquisition of firefighting equipment, where budget requests average $320.5 million, while the approved budget was $184.5 million. Joke. So the fire services, based on their assessment, want $320.5 million per year. However, the government is only giving them $184.5 million per year. I want to tell you something. My son reached to a surcharge business where there is some misappropriation of $124 million at the Ministry of Education in just one case. Because we know about Ruel and Fritz Pinnock situations and the allegations there and the amount of money involved. We know about misappropriation of funds in so many other ministries and overspending here, so and them something there. And the fire brigade is getting just over half of what they request per year for something as serious as fires that are so frequent in this country. 44,764 in 5 years. That's a lot of fires, you know. Accordingly, given the budgetary shortfall, which was 23% for 2021-2022, the fire brigade would have been required to adjust its priority areas relating to the acquisition of firefighting. Hold on, you know. Remember, you know, 41 out of 105 vehicles now working on. Listen to this. According to the given budgetary shortfall of 23%, the fire brigade would have been required to adjust its priority areas relating to acquisition of firefighting equipment because they are getting 185 million instead of 320 what them need. In concluding, she said that the JFB should increase its follow-up building inspection. Me couldn't tell them nothing, Pamela. I open a year activities to ensure that all deficiencies are remedied within the specified period as per its building inspection policy. Because if they don't do this, ultimately it will affect the fire brigade as well. They will get more calls, more people are going to die, one will or something. She said that enforcement mechanism applicable under the Fire Brigade Act should be utilized for owners of specified buildings who are found to be in breach. Pamela should not have to tell you this. Pamela is not a firefighter. Miss Monroe Ellis, she's not that. You understand? What am I telling you? The Fire Brigade should ensure strict adherence to the applicable acts and circulars in relation to the preparation of annual reports, audited financial statements, and bank reconciliation statements, and submit all such outstanding reports and financial statements to the portfolio minister for tabling in the House of Parliament. She said, "Fire, fire, fire. Fire fall on me. Fire, fire, fire. Fire fall on me. On the day of Pentecost, fire fall on me." Come on, church. Priorities, vision. The fire services is essential in so many instances. The fire service don't just out fire. They don't just fight fires. In the event of accidents, they are called because they have to cut people from vehicles. You understand? When you have gas spills and road with them go wash it off, you have situations like what happened up by Queens the other day when the young ladies were on the roof. They were called in. Their job is not just to treat with buildings and fire or bushfires. It is way more than that. So maybe when the Minister of Finance look at it, the $320 million is probably about 100. So you ask for 320 based on your expertise in the field, and you are given 184 with 41 of 105 vehicles out of service. Wow. Big up to your firefighters, them try to make it thing work. We are take them on ton fashion. You know it's rough. I know it's enough time when I reach man some fire, some seeing people chastise and berate, you know. They don't understand that you guys are carrying water in baskets, so to speak. But we appreciate the ones them. You understand? Because these are some serious times. I need to get some dub plates, so I need to play in a stream, you know. I start acquire some dub plates, because all the tune I need to drop yes, you know. All I see around us is just madness. Well done. Well done, Mr. Politician, man. You done a wonderful job at destroy the country. You forget a round of applause for all the things you're doing. Decisions where you make will left the country in a ruin. I need to get them dub plate there, you know. I want them. But I scam pay a Kabaka pyramid there now because them win Grammy what there, but I go see. You understand? I go look into it. I need a sizzler. I wonder. I'm not sure if I live to see tomorrow. And then I can pay Dada. I see. I need a Tanya Stevens. I need that one. Them. You understand? I need a tune there. I need some tune. Play the history. And look them. You understand? Might take me a while. Because the artists, they're not easy there. You see them there? Yo! Me need from Gansett just a little advice. Gun is not there. Terry Gansett. I don't have to pay Gansett for that tune, I'm sure. Ganzi, I hope I have to pay for your tune. I want it. Let me see what else. I want some tune. Some tune are very applicable to what go on in that country. You understand? I want a couple tune from Killer too. I make him go know that. Because as the poor people govern, enough poor people there want to govern same way. Him fi understand. Yeah. I want some tune. Play two tune. Because more time, only music alone can give you a little reprieve. When I talk about some of them stories, State eyes death penalty for accused held for rape and murder of 9-year-old. Again, this is the DPP suggesting that she will be seeking the death penalty for the accused in this case, similar to how she had announced that she was going to see the death penalty for the cassava, but for the murder of the mother and her children in a cassava piece around in here. Somebody soon tell me, I remember. But don't a Chapelton them man. Cassava where in here? A cassava piece too? Some cassavas. However, the accused in that instance pleaded guilty, and as such, the DPP withdrew the application, I think. So let's see what is going to happen. Cocoa piece. Big up yourself. I've me see it myself. Cassava piece. Cocoa piece. Yeah, that very, very sad, dark incident there. So that case is disposed of. The accused pleaded guilty and was sentenced. The state will be seeking the death penalty in its case against Omar Green, the Hanover man charged for the alleged rape and murder of 9-year-old Nikita Noel in Esher, Hanover on February 1. On Tuesday, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions revealed that it would be proceeding with a voluntary bill of indictment to seek the death penalty against Green, pursuant to Section 3, subsection 1 of the Offences Against a Person Act. According to reports from the Hanover Police, on February 1, Nikita was reported missing by her mother after she did not return home from the Esher Primary School. A search was launched, and her body was found in proximity to her home in the Q district, a section of Esher. A postmortem revealed that the child was raped and then strangled. Further investigations led to the arrest and charge of Green, who was reportedly involved in a contentious relationship with the child's mother. When Green appeared in the Hanover Circuit Court on Tuesday, presiding High Court Judge Courtney Day ordered that the accused undergo forensic psychiatric evaluation. He has been remanded until his next court appearance on July 3. Having carefully considered the allegations as disclosed within the evidentiary material gathered so far, the law and the public interests entered and nully prosecuted the Hanover Parish Court earlier, thereby discontinuing the matter in the said parish court and shortly thereafter preferring a voluntary bill of indictment against Mr. Green in the Hanover Circuit Court, the Office of the DPP noted. In addition to taking this step, Crown Counsel on my instruction also filed a death penalty notice in the Hanover Circuit Court, and a copy of this notice was served on the accused man when he made his appearance in court. It continued. The release added that the provisions of Section 3, subsection 1 of the Offences Against a Persons Act states that every person who falls within Section 3, subsection 1A shall be sentenced to imprisonment for life or to death. As it concerns Section 3, subsection 1A, the provisions include persons who are convicted for murder in the course of furtherance of rape. Jano. So yeah, we will know the story. I did not cover that story for obvious reason. It was just yeah. So the DPP is seeking the death penalty. But with the seeking of the death penalty, a lot of things, because based on the ruling that the Privy Council did for that case where for Morgan and Pratt, I have covered that before, and so you can go search for it. So those were the two men who brought the crown to the Privy Council, and they were taken off death row because it took more than 5 years for the matter to be completed. So in essence, the Privy Council said that it is unconstitutional to kill somebody if the matter is not disposed of in 5 years. So trial, appeal, final appeal. So if you can complete that in 5 years and the death penalty was handed down, then execution can go ahead. But if it takes more than 5 years for the trial, conviction, and all appeals are exhausted, no execution can go on. So that is part of the issue with the death penalty. You understand? So we'll watch and see. So even if he's sentenced to death, then he would have to exhaust all the case would have to be wrapped up in its entirety from trial to appeal to final appeal in 5 years. So it is not as straightforward as, oh, he's found guilty, he's sentenced to death, and he's executed. So there's a lot of issues surrounding that. So whilst the death penalty is still on the books in Jamaica, and again, I have done videos treating with these things, but you know these topics not sexy, and them not hot, so people not to watch them videos there until them go search for them because people attack. But I have done videos on these things. I have done videos on most things. You understand? And it's not a boasting. But seriously, I have done videos on many things. I need to do some more particular type of, especially as it relates to the rules and laws in this country. You understand? And people understanding their rights and their responsibilities. Because, my right. Yeah, we have rights. But also, with every right comes a responsibility. People tend to forget that. We throw out the responsibilities with the bathwater. But we keep our rights. You understand? So, I need to do some more videos about the laws and understanding your rights and understanding the laws and the responsibilities, and some more info disseminating about the judiciary and the judicial process in the country. As I said, I know them videos, they're not sexy and attractive for the masses, but they will play their part and their roles in time to come. You understand? Many of the videos are used by teachers, and like many people call me and say, you know, so I see a teacher use one video in one class up a UE or UTech or NCU or high school around this or short. I've been get these calls, I get these messages, these voice notes. So we have done a lot of work as it relates to some things in the course of this YouTube journey. You understand? I haven't done a lot of those videos in recent times, but I kind of reassess and I realign myself, and you know, I rejig the mission and the vision. So I need to start do some more of those things where evergreen content, I suppose. So Farmwell, what I do with? So yeah. So I did a short series of videos about the death penalty, the Morgan and Pratt situation, the history of the death penalty and what exists now, obtains now as it relates to where the death penalty is and why it is where it is. I've also said publicly that the death penalty is not the silver bullet to crime in Jamaica, whilst it is a good tool to have. And some people will say, oh, it's a deterrent. I don't know how big a deterrent it is, because we used to hang people, because people still kill people. So not like it did stop people from kill people. You understand? So whilst it has a place in the dispensation of justice, in my view, it is not the silver bullet. And every time, bring back the death penalty, man still kill man. Will it reduce the amount of men killing men and men killing women and women killing men? I can't say. But will it treat with Jamaica's crime problem as we know it and want to see it? Absolutely not. Again, my views. Zane, if you think bringing back the death penalty will solve Jamaica crime problem, you are dead wrong. Will it help? Possibly. To what extent? I don't know. I can't say. I can't qualify that or quantify that as at this point. But in my honest assessment and opinion, there are many countries that still employ the death penalty and still executing people. Why are they still executing people? Because people still kill people. You understand? So is it stopping people? No, it not solve nothing. It not solve the crime. What it is doing, it may deter some man, because no man no want dead really. That's why them appeal them case and try if it come off a death row. You understand? No man no really want dead like that. So me get the part there. Zane, but if you feel like say it a go solve the Jamaica crime problem, you are mistaken. That is just my view. My favorite lawyer, who's my what's my favorite lawyer? Yeah, that's that. I suspect you're talking about Mr. Champini. The based on his track record, the most sought after lawyer in Jamaica at this point in time. I would love to have a conversation with Mr. Shah. I would love to have a conversation with the DPP as well. Because I have some very hard questions from Madam DPP, you know. You understand? Because, you see me, I'd love to have conversations with these people. But I suppose in time, and thing. Yeah, as Mr. I'm trying to understand the rule of law. You understand? And how laws work and how the judiciary work. Yeah, so I will try to acquire some knowledge. These days slower than in the past. Because I get old to you. Can't process all of these things one time. But it's a very good suggestion. Hopefully one of them time. Hopefully, I have tried with, well, not Mr. Champagne before. I have had conversation, not directly, with another prominent lawyer to treat with some stuff in a forum like this before. It hasn't happened. But we're going to try again. You understand? Brush yourself off and try again. You know anything go? So we know that teachers and police officers and firefighters and soldiers and everybody has been leaving Jamaica over the years. And I'm not new. We going to the United States, to Canada, to Cayman, to the UK, all about. You understand? In search of a better life, in search of more money, in search of greener pastures. Yeah. Nurses, they are in high demand. Teachers, high demand. Police officers, high demand. Over 1,500 nurses resigned from the public health sector between 2019 and 2021. That is a lot. If 1,500 might not sound enough to you, but based on the numbers that exist and based on the demand that exists for nurses locally, 1,500 is massive. Yeah? Over the 2-year period, 2019 to 2021, some 1,540 nurses resigned from the public health system, according to the Auditor General. The Auditor General sought and obtained this data from the Nurses Association of Jamaica as she conducted an audit into the effectiveness of Jamaica's institutional framework in enabling a strong and resilient national public health system. No data on nurses' resignations were available prior to 2019. That is strange. Strange, this feeling I'm feeling. Data obtained from the Nursing Council of Jamaica indicated that 23,280 nurses were licensed by the NCJ over the period 2016 to 2022. That's that's not bad. How much years that? 4 and 3, 7 years, 23,000. However, the data also showed that overseas recruiters requested verification of license from NAJ for 4,559 nurses in both the private and public sectors between April 2016 and November of 2021. The Auditor General's department was unable to disaggregate the numbers between the public and private sectors. Nonetheless, the number of licenses verified as a percentage of the number of nurses licensed reduced in 2019-2020, most likely due to COVID, because recruitment kind of slowed down, but has shown an upward trend since. suggesting that nurses are seeking employment overseas. Then anybody could answer that. In a performance audit report of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, which was tabled in Parliament on Tuesday, the Auditor General said that with the migration of nurses, Jamaica's healthcare system is facing challenges maintaining experienced nurses to offer normal healthcare services, particularly in instances of health emergencies. Monroe Ellis noted that the Health and Wellness Ministry and the regional health authorities are aware of this challenge. However, she said that despite having this awareness, minimal effort has been made to monitor the extent of the problem by implementing an effective system. To monitor the extent of the problem by implementing an effective system to track migration numbers, measure the impact, especially on the public health system, and implement effective strategies to address the issue to build resilience in the public health service. In its 10-year strategic plan 2019 to 2030, the Ministry of Health and Wellness acknowledged that the public health system is encountering challenges with migration, lack of health professionals, and unequal distribution of health professionals in rural and urban areas. The ministry indicated that policy recommendations were developed in the short term to deepen existing bilateral arrangements for inward migration to meet human resources needs. So basically, we are going to bring in some nurses. I say yes. While in the long term, improving remunerations and career development, human resource management and training. So them a plan for giving her some more money and do some, we see. Consistent with the policy recommendations, the ministry also indicated that it sought to foster technical cooperation with countries for recruitment purposes to fill human resource gaps, as well as continue to collaborate with overseas partners to accommodate training and development of staff for critical areas. And the nursing is a reflection of what teachers have been doing. It's just a mirror of what teachers have been doing, what doctors have been doing, what police officers. The turnover rate in the JCF is very high. It probably is not as spoken about publicly as often as teachers and nurses. Fingernail them and cut. I don't like that. You understand? So we are continuing to suffer from brain drain, and the unfortunate reality is that it shows no sign of easing or stopping or improving, because the remunerations, as was mentioned here, is just not enough for professionals in many fields to sustain themselves and their family in living a comfortable life in Jamaica. That is just the hard reality of it. Then, consequent to that, many of these foreign countries are offering better opportunities, financially speaking, especially when they do the conversion. So people just not stay. And then added to the lack of resources, added to the fact that enough people don't feel safe in Jamaica, despite the fact that violence is in most places just the same. It's just that the level of violence in Jamaica is scary to a lot of people. You see me? So the battle of attrition that will continue, and more nurses will leave, more teachers will leave, more police officers will leave, more firefighters will leave, more soldiers will leave, more skilled workers will leave, more hotel workers will leave. You understand? So for all sectors of the country, you will have people migrating in pursuit of more money, better opportunities, so to speak. So until we're at a level where we can properly remunerate, pay our professionals, will continue to fight this battle. And ultimately it will affect the development or the rate of development of the country, because many of our professionals, our best minds, are migrating. And some people from them leave Jamaica, them not to come back until in many instances when them retire, if them do come back. Some people just come here, come visit, and that's it. That is the reality what we are facing right now. So as a nation, we need to look at how best we can treat with that. the government will tell you that they don't have enough money to pay nurses and teachers and police officers and public sector workers what they should get, and they should choose country over personal desire and development. I don't know who are going to do that, especially seeing that, again, the social climate is what it is, the violence is what it is, and a lot of times it is not even just the hard cash. It is the fact that there are not enough benefits or perceived benefits doing the things in Jamaica. See? Because if some nurses were able to acquire houses and teachers and police officers with less stress, and acquire motor vehicles with less stress, and fund their children tertiary education and secondary education more manageably, more people would stay. That is just the reality. So it's not just the hard cash, but then again, it takes cash to care, because if you go and subsidize tuition at the university level for the children of teachers and police officers and nurses, and so if you're going to subsidize the purchase of motor vehicles or the acquisition of houses, it's going to take money too. So there is that. We need to reach a stage of productivity in this country where we can better pay our public sector workers in order to reduce that level of external migration. One of the reasons nurses are leaving is that the Cuban nurses are being paid much better than local. Are they? Yeah? At the same level of qualification and doing the same thing, they are being paid better? I don't know. I have to go check and see. Interesting. I don't know. So, yeah. So we talk about the fire services. We're talking about the health services with the nurses. We see there's another article where, kind of, when I see the title, I say, then me not love this. Ministry lacks contingency plans despite Zika, Chick-V health crisis. Despite the severe impact of Zika and the chikungunya viruses on Jamaica, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has failed to carry out an assessment and document the lessons learned from the health emergencies. This is one of the findings of an Auditor General's Department investigation into the effectiveness of Jamaica's institutional framework in enabling a strong and resilient, similar to us about the nurses. So the first case of Zika in Jamaica was confirmed in January of 2016, while the chikungunya virus first impacted the country in 2014. Health officials say that 80% of Jamaica's population were infected with the latter. That is Zika, I think, yeah? Both are mosquito-borne diseases. In a performance audit report tabled in Parliament on Tuesday, the Auditor General said that in addition, there was no evidence that the Health Ministry incorporated post-event reviews to aid in responding to future health emergencies. The Auditor General also highlighted that the Ministry is yet to conduct an evaluation of the lessons learned from the COVID-19 pandemic, although it acknowledged the importance of the formal assessment and documentation of the lessons learned. So they are acknowledging that it's important, but they are not putting them... Monroe Ellis said that an important element of health system strengthening is the application of the lessons learned from global and country experiencing during public health emergencies. The World Health Organization guidance indicated that health systems can learn from emergency experiences and improve their capacity to prevent, prepare for, and respond better to future emergency. Common sense, that, Yes, and the Health Ministry was also found wanting when the Auditor General reviewed the country's health infrastructure and its capacity to support health system resilience. According to Monroe Ellis, the resilience of Jamaica's public health system continues to be challenged by low hospital bed capacity ratios and low doctor and nurse patient densities, which limit the capacity to adequately respond to public health emergencies. Now, data obtained from the Pan American Health Organization core indicator portal, a dashboard on countries' hospital beds per 1,000 population, suggested that in 2021, Jamaica had a 1.68 hospital beds available for every 1,000 person in the population. Jamaica had 1.68 hospital beds available for every 1,000 people in the population. Crazy. In its 10-year strategic plan, the health ministry listed bed occupancy rate among the challenges affecting the public health system and acknowledged that hospital bed rates relative to population size are low, but largely function at excess capacity. In addition, the Auditor General divulged that the Health and Wellness Ministry did not demonstrate that it tracked doctor to population and nurse to population density in the public health. This kind of came out in the previous story. In the public health sector to know whether doctors and nurses are sufficiently available to address the population's health care. They not have to ask Auntie Pamela, we not have it. They not have to ask them to track nothing. Our analysis of population data and number of doctors and nurses in the public health system revealed a density of 9.0 doctors and 18.1 nurses per 10,000 population, representing a combined density ratio of 2.71 doctors and nurses per 1,000 people. So almost 3 doctors and nurses per 1,000 in the population. Serious business. Monroe Ellis outlined, she said that this is below the Sustainable Development Goal Index threshold of 4.45 skilled health workers, doctors, nurses, and midwives per 1,000 population recommended by the WHO. Monroe Ellis also warned that public health resilience in Jamaica is threatened by reportedly high attrition of healthcare workers. We just spoke about that just now. Yeah, so them things it's look, I don't know if there's a perfect country, is it? But you have countries who are doing many things right. There are the Scandinavian countries, you understand? There are countries like Singapore and other countries around the world where basic things are done correctly. You understand? Where the importance of human resources is paramount and is treated as such. Where the value of public sector workers is understood and as such remuneration is equivalent. Zane? And I know some people say yes, teach, but these countries are doing well economically. I don't think them they just appear and do well economically. So they would have put things in place to be excelling economically. So we now need to look at best practices and good examples and try to emulate and even better some of these things. But we spend most of the time, Zane, at the folly, and the country burn. Rome burns. Jamaica burns. You understand? And we are very reactive as a nation instead of being proactive. So things have to happen for things happen. Instead of we make things happen. Things have to happen for things happening in this country. And even when things happen, see there, chikungunya and Zika, as the Auditor General is saying, these were major health crises. Yeah? And the lessons that should have been learned from these major health crises, obviously, the lessons are not being used as a guide to implement further resilience in the future. You understand? So, I don't know. Yeah, some other things happen. Greg Christie was in front of Parliament. It's a next story for you next time. Dean Roy Bernard, former permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education, the court ruled that he should be reinstated and that it was unconstitutional for the Prime Minister to recommend to the Governor General to move him from the permanent secretary post over to the Ministry of Finance as Director General, because there was no post over there. You understand? And if you're going to move him from the Ministry of Finance, his post in the from the Ministry of Education, his post in Finance should equate in benefits and remuneration to the post. So you need to have over there so a lot of politics and foolishness. You understand? So let me share this. I know he was involved in the possibility of a surcharge situation with Grace McLean. The acting the financial secretary Darlene Morrison in the ministry is saying that the surcharge case is still live. See, but let me share with you the Dean Roy Bernard thing before I move on. Yes, so court rules transfer of permanent secretary Dean Roy Bernard was unconstitutional. And again, this is another slap in the face for the Prime Minister in the sense that his name is mentioned in this as him making the recommendation to the Governor General, and it's not the first or second or third time that Mr. Holness would have been involved in something where the court deems to be unconstitutional. You see me? So, Dean Roy Bernard, who was discarded as permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education under the administration of Rural Reid, no doubt, and demoted to Chief Technical Director in the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, is to be reinstated as permanent secretary, the Supreme Court ruled last week. Bernard's attorney, Mark Williams, confirmed that the court ruled that the action was unconstitutional and he should be reinstated as permanent secretary in the next 3 months. Bernard had challenged the constitutionality of the transfer and asked for a reinstatement. Among other things, Bernard argued in court that Prime Minister Andrew Holness had no authority to recommend reassignment and that the Public Service Commission had a duty to review the Prime Minister's recommendation. He also argued that neither the Constitution nor the staff orders contemplated the forcible removal of a permanent secretary to a lower or other position in the public service. Bernard's reassignment was done in the wake of the Caribbean Maritime University scandal involving the Education Minister, Rural Reid. He was appointed in 2016. Yes. So let me talk to you about the surcharge thing because his name is involved in that as well. So committee still probing circumstances. And the finance ministry is yet to make a determination against Bernard and McLean. So Financial Secretary Darlene Morrison has said that investigation into the Joint Committee for Tertiary Education, JCTE, case involving interdicted former acting permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education, Dr. Grace McLean, and Dean Roy Bernard, the former permanent secretary, is not yet completed. As such, surcharge has not been imposed on the public officers. She said that surcharge procedures, as stipulated by the applicable legislation, have started in relation to both officers. In a special audit report on the JCTE, Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis had recommended in October of 2021 that the Financial Secretary considered surcharge action against the two senior officers of the Education Ministry for the disbursement of $124 million that could not be accounted for and called for a police investigation. A surcharge is a provision of the Financial Administration and Audit Act which allows for the recovery of monies lost or the value of the loss of property or other assets to have been destroyed or stolen because of negligence on the part of public officers. The legislation provides a 3-year window for the sums to be recovered after being spent. Responding to reporters' queries on the issue, Morrison pointed out that the Financial Management Regulation 111 subsection 7 provides that the financial secretary may, in exercising the functions of surcharge prescribed by the law, appoint a committee of not fewer than 3 persons, one of whom shall be appointed by the Attorney General, to investigate the circumstances of the surcharge case and to submit recommendations to her. It's a long story, but let me finish it. I need to talk about it. She said that such a committee has been established and is operational. The committee is chaired by a senior officer of the Ministry of Finance and Public Service and comprises representatives from the Attorney General's chambers and the Office of the Services Commission, the Financial Investigations Division, and the Public Expenditure Policy Coordination Division in the ministry. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency, Mocho, searched the premises of McLean 2 weeks ago as part of the ongoing probe into alleged impropriety involving the Education Ministry and the JCTE, which became a private entity after being established as a public institution. Other locations in Kingston and St. Andrew, 3 in St. James and 1 in Westmoreland, were searched by Mocho on March 17. Properties linked to Cecil Cornwall, who served as chairman of the JCTE, were also searched, as well as the Excelsior Community College on Mountain View Avenue in St. Andrew. The college's principal, Fillmore McCarthy, has served as treasurer of the JCTE. Attorney Peter Champine, Queen's Counsel, who is representing McLean, has expressed concern about the pace of the investigation into allegations of financial impropriety. Meanwhile, a recommendation by the Auditor General for a surcharge action to be made against Firearm Licensing Authority FLA CEO Shane Dalling and Aleem Anderson, Director of the Finance and Administration, has become unenforceable. I never know a surcharge action was ordered against Shane Dalling. The Auditor General had reported that overpayment of sums by the FLA to 5 former employees. The value of loss was reported as a little more than $8.3 million. Morrison said that the matter was no longer enforceable since the prescribed period of limitation has elapsed. The Auditor General's Surcharge Review Committee report indicated that the payments that resulted in the loss of public funds were made in May 2017, August 2017, and October 2017. Morrison said that the recommendation for the imposition of the surcharge by the Auditor General was made in August of 2021, which is approximately 4 years after the date of the payment. Taxpayers lose again. Taxpayers get bruised again. Peeps, these and there are so many things we can talk about affecting the country, but the topics that I choose to address when I do this are topics that not many people are interested in, again, because I'm not sexy, but these are some of the things degrading the very fabric of our society. These are some of the things that if continued unchecked will further destroy and set us back decades than we already are. That is why I am always appreciative of the work being done by the Auditor General's Department, led by the very able and eloquent Miss Pamela Monroe Ellis. A real patriot. You understand? I don't know if she's doing it because she loves Jamaica or she do it because it's her job, or it's a combination of both, or she's very well paid, because I suspect she's very well paid. However, whatever reasons, she has been doing a sterling job, and many of these issues would not have seen the light of day if her office had not been leaving no stones unturned. Zane, these are people who we need in our society, fearless and fair. Just do the job. The CMU Ministry of Education situation, it was through the work of the Auditor General. All of them things here we are here about misappropriate. It is generally through the, or you have some other whistleblowers, because you have that too. Zane, but Miss Pamela Monroe Ellis, she continued to be one of the things that remains good about Jamaica. You understand? These are the things that we need for continue to fight, Zane. Not from any political base, but from a Jamaican base. From wanting this country to do better, irrespective of whether we support the People's National Party or the Jamaica Labour Party, or whichever other party exists or hope to exist. We as the people need to fight these things, to address these things, to highlight these things. You understand? We need more people taking on some of these topics. Again, I am very careful when how I say these things, because you're going to hear people are going to say, I say because no. I'm just saying, it's not everybody would have a quick grasp or understanding of some of these issues. And as such, I suppose many people can avoid these things. Zane, and some of the people who may have a grasp or understanding of these concepts and issues may have political agendas, and as such wouldn't be coming across as genuine. We need more people who, because I know many Jamaicans are out there who understand these issues and understand the potential consequences that exist if some of these things are not discovered, uncovered, and treated with, that need to add them voice to the thing. You understand? More people need for join in sharing their disapproval and also helping the public to understand and interpret these things and what they mean for us as a people. See, because I'm sure you have people out there who are far better able to break down some of these things and interpret them than I do. We need more of those people involved in the thing. You understand? Involved with platforms like mine for help to educate and to disseminate the information in a very fair and frank way, so people can understand and appreciate what is going on in some. Because some people don't understand. Some people don't even care because that's not been explained to them in a way that they can understand. You see me? So we need more people who have the ability to interpret, analyze, and share information in a way where it is for the betterment of the country to do so as well. You understand? We have too many people who are opinionated versus relying on facts, and that in itself is a problem. We have too many people who are just hustling. There lies a problem. We have too many people with agendas, political and otherwise. Lies a problem. We have many people who want what is best for the nation from a wholehearted perspective. We need to join in the conversation. We need for help with the dissemination of information, the explanation of information, the analysis of information, so that a regular man in the street can see the thing and accept it for what it is, and make decisions according to what the situation is. Peeps, we are cut it this. Big up on yourself, give thanks. As I say, still I look for the formula and the feel. I didn't stream Friday night because I champs, as I told you. Yeah, big up on yourself. Big up to KC, Idel, everybody, all the athletes that suffered injuries during champs. I trust that your recovery will be full and speedy, and I'm also encouraging corporate Jamaica adapt athlete. You understand? You don't have to be the biggest name athletes, because as I said, Shelley and Fraser, Elaine Thompson, Asafa Powell, they had no names during champs. They did not excel during champs. And those are some of the greatest athletes this country have produced. Shelley Ann Fraser is arguably the greatest female sprinter in history, based on what she has won. Elaine Thompson being two-time Olympic gold medalist in the 1 and 200, is one of the greatest sprinters of all time. Asafa Powell is the man who opened the door for many sprinters in this country. Yeah, one of our greatest sprinters. They didn't do well at champs. You understand? But Stephen Francis and Paul Francis and the team at MVP. Bruce James is one of the greatest men in this country as well. His vision, him and Stephen, the vision that they had for MVP and what it has done for our track and field and revolutionizing our track and field. Then we add Glenn Mills to the mix. Glenn Mills was doing great things at Camperdown for years before Usain Bolt and Johan Blake became his charges. These are some great people. We appreciate them. You understand? Corporate Jamaica, stop being bandwagonists. You understand? Help to nurture these youngsters. Help them transition, which will be better for your brand as well. You understand? Instead of just jumping on when the athletes are excelling, help them to help themselves so they can help you and your brand as well. Peeps, big up on yourself. We have more things to talk about. As a matter of fact, this was almost a call-in stream, but because I have some things that I want to say, especially about champs, I say no, but we work on that. And then I have fool around some things and some things happen to some never bother. But that soon come. Peeps, big up on yourself. Appreciate the ones them. Enjoy your week. Be safe. Whether you're at Jamaica, Canada, America, Cayman, the UK, Australia, Antarctica, Russia. Gonna big up on yourself. Yeah, that's what I say. I appreciate the ones them. Peeps, enjoy your week. Make some money. You understand? Make some memories. Stay safe. Walk good. Step with Jah. Safe travel upon the gravel. I now have my own truck and I clean up some things and I fix some things up. Big up on yourself. Art all every time. Grace, Xavier, Rosie, Gary. Miss Abel, it's good to see you. You understand? Pawn Service. Jamaica Pawn Service. Big up yourself, bro. MS, I think she stepped out. Miss Janet Jones. Samuel, click. You understand? Everybody went in the building. Big up on yourself. DS, step out. All of the ones them. You know what I think? Art all every time. Big up on yourself. One love. I'm out. I mean, forget me intro back.